Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to today's video where we are going to be talking about the brand new Jones Solution for 2021. What do you think, guys? Should we unwrap it before we talk about it? It might be nicer to see it without the wrapping. Alright, we'll take it out of the wrapping. We'll do an unwrapping. It always feels like Christmas morning when you get to unwrap a beautiful snowboard like this one. I literally just unboxed these earlier this afternoon. Man, that thing is beautiful. Once it's out of the plastic, that top sheet really jumps out at you, and you sort of get to see that mountain graphic a lot better in the background there. This thing is a beautiful board and definitely one of the ultimate all-time best-selling split boards in the world. You know, when people think splitboarding, they go immediately to a Jones snowboard because obviously Jeremy Jones, the professional backcountry snowboarder who's famous for his films Deeper, Further, and Higher. If you guys haven't seen them, there's some great snowboarding homework to do, especially right now in the off-season while we're waiting for snow. These movies are all about touring and splitboarding into the backcountry, finding the best, pristine, untouched powder lines. And yeah, if you're looking for something to get you stoked on snowboarding, I would suggest checking out that trilogy of films. Jeremy Jones has been in the industry for a long time, and the whole concept of starting his own brand of splitboards was so that he could A, design them to his liking, and so that B, he could give back to the community and to the environment. So a big part of buying a Jones snowboard is that a proceed from every snowboard goes to POW, Protect Our Winters. And for Jeremy Jones, that's a really big important topic for him. If the snow sport industry is going to survive, then we need winter to last, and so we need to find ways to stop global warming, and that's exactly what the POW initiative is. So yeah, kudos to Jeremy Jones for making it happen. So yeah, let's get right into it. This board has been redesigned for 2021. There's some awesome new tech that they're putting into the board that's sort of amping it up over the last few years. One of the cool things is that the overall profile and shape is now matching the flagship. So traditionally in the Jones lineup, the flagship and the Solution have always been the same board. The flagship is the solid and the Solution is the split version. Last year they updated the flagship, but they had not updated the Solution yet. So now this year the Solution is matching up to the flagship again and meeting up to its sort of new standard of riding. So what they've done here is they've tightened up the turning radius slightly, and they've also given it a slightly wider front shovel here. They've added some taper. So when we have a little bit of a wider front shovel and a narrower tail, what that does is it naturally gives the board better flotation in deeper snow. It makes sure that the tail always sinks and the front, the shovel here that has that rockered section, really planes out of the snow, and in comparison to the back will always plane up and out. Just in case you're interested, the taper on this guy is a 12.5 millimeter taper, so it's substantial. It's similar to like a Flight Attendant by Burton. Yeah, by adding that little bit of taper, naturally the board is going to float better, which is a good thing for a split board. And then it's also just a little bit more turnable. It gives you a little bit more style. You can initiate a turn a little bit better. If you've ever ridden like a pintail skateboard or a pintail longboard, it's sort of the same effect. You get like a really quick turning feel out of it. The camber profile on this sucker is camber under the foot, with a rockered section in the tip and the tail. The dominant camber profile is still going to give you all the stability that you want and all the liveliness that you want. And that cambered section really makes the board very versatile. You can imagine that if you take this thing just for a resort day where you're on the groomers, it's still going to rail a carve really nicely, it's still going to feel really responsive and have a lot of pop. It's not purely a powder board. It works really well in resort too. So if you are going to just make one board choice and it's going to be a split board, then not to worry, this board will perform while you're riding, you know, regular resort conditions like piste, corduroy, groomered runs. Versus that rockered shovel in the front there is going to really accentuate the floatability of the snowboard. And then the tapered shape where the front shovel is slightly wider than the tail ensures again that that front end always planes out while the tail sinks in. The core in this guy is their ultra split core. The ultra split core is really cool because it's combining flax and basalt. Flax is like what they make linseed oil from. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like flax seeds, but flax is sort of like a new thing in the snowboard industry because it mimics the characteristics of carbon fiber in the sense that it's very lightweight and very strong, but it's also way more environmentally friendly. So yeah, carbon fiber, not so much. It's kind of like a pollutant. It takes a lot to produce carbon fiber. It's definitely nowhere near as good for the environment. Versus flax, you get all of those characteristics of carbon fiber where it's lightweight and where it's strong, but it's also way more environmentally friendly, and it's a resourceable, what do they call that? And it's an easier to replenish resource as well. The basalt in here, again, it's the same idea. Basalt is actually ground up volcanic ash, and then they've layered that into the core of the board, and it makes the board stronger, and it really produces a lively rebound effect. So it's very good for pop. It's very good for that energy rebound. So it's utilizing an eco-plastic top sheet. Pretty neat. Again, you know, that eco-sustainable story. It's water repellent. Water beads off. Snow won't get stuck to it as easily. It's a bit of a myth on how much that actually works, because on a sticky day out there, sometimes your board just gets covered. But the whole concept here is that it's an anti-stick top sheet, so it's trying to deflect the snow so that the snow beads off or slides off of it. And the other cool story about the plastic eco top sheet is that it's less likely to chip. You know, it's just very resistant, resilient. It's a strong, durable top sheet. And you know, they know that when you're out there, you're going to be running into rocks and sticks and twigs and logs. The only downside to a top sheet like this is it's a little bit harder to put a sticker on it. The stickers don't stay on as easily. So if you're a sticker kid, you might be a bit disappointed, or you might just have to replace your stickers a little bit more frequently. Another cool thing here, guys, is they're now using this technology called boltless bridge, which is almost like a core profiling directly under your inserts and where the clips are here. By making the core a little bit thicker here, you're gonna feel that rigidity when you ride it. So it's designed so that A, it rides better, and B, it's more durable where it needs to be. And then they've milled down the rest of the snowboard outside of that bridge to make it lightweight and still very flexible so that you can load an ollie, you can really press the tail still. You know, it's a very versatile snowboard. Karakorum clips are known in the industry as being sort of the tightest clips, the ones that clamp the best. They hold the board together really well. There's a really good fusion there between the two pieces. So the edges on this thing are using Traction Tech 3.0. That's those slight undulations that you're seeing there, those 3 slight bumps along the sidewall edge. What that's designed to do is just give you better grip when you're on icy conditions or when you're on conditions that are harsh, when you're not in powder, when you're maybe going up the mountain and you want a little bit more edge, you want a little bit more grip. It kind of works like a serradation. So you can imagine a serrated knife is going to grip a lot better than like a butter knife per se. It's the same idea as Libtech's Magnetraction or Arbor's Grip Tech technology. It's utilizing sort of those 3 extra contact points along the side where the edge can just bite into the snow a little bit more aggressively. You don't feel it when you're riding powder or when you're in soft snow for that matter, but you definitely do feel that technology when you're on ice, and that's a good thing to have it because it gives you more control. The other cool thing about all Jones splitboards is that they use Traction Tech 3.0 on the inside edge as well. So you can sort of see on that inside edge, it undulates just slightly, it wobbles just slightly. And what that's good for is that it really holds the two pieces of the board together firmly because they're fitting in together like a puzzle piece almost. And then B, it also offers you all of the benefits of that Traction Tech on the inside edge. So when you're in split mode and these things are skis, then when you're walking up, this edge here is actually going to be the outside edge of either of your skis. So it's important to have that slight serradation to them because it'll give you overall more grip when you're climbing. That's another nice thing about the camber as well. Having that cambered zone under your foot just naturally gives you a more stable feel. Yeah, just better grip on the way up, more surface area making contact with the snow, being camber, therefore, you feel that stability going up the mountain as well as when you're going down. When you look at the flex category of this guy, it's about an 8 out of 10 flex, so it's on the firmer side. If you're looking for more of like a flexy, noodly board, they offer, the Frontier as their other option for something that's a little bit more playful. But this guy here being on the firmer side, slightly more aggressive, and therefore it's going to handle really well when you're doing steeps, when you're going fast, when you're ripping a hard turn or a hard carve on it. So that firmer feel is indicative to, that higher end intermediate rider to advanced level rider. Having said that, I wouldn't hinder an intermediate. I would think that this is a board that you can sort of like still grow into, and it being as premium as it is, it would still be a really good board to grow your skill set. They have little notches specifically on the tail there, and those notches are designed so that it integrates with their splitboard skins really well. Jones makes their own brand as well of splitboard skins, and if you buy a Jones board, you don't have to buy a Jones skin, but the Jones skin will integrate the best with the board. And yeah, if you guys don't know, skins are the sticky textured part that you put underneath the splitboard when you're hiking up so that you have better traction. You put those skins on, it's kind of like a cat's tongue. It really grips to the snow, and then when you get up to the top, you take them off so that the base works naturally. Sintered base on this board, so premium base as well. Definitely the faster spectrum of bases, and just like every other sintered base on the market, if you buy a sintered base, it needs a little bit more love. So make sure that if you get this board, you're waxing it nice and frequently, and you're keeping it nice and fresh and hydrated. And the other important part about that is that it's going to then track really well over flat spots. There's nothing better than beating your friend down a flat cat track because you've just waxed your board and he hasn't. And then other super cool thing to mention this year that's also upgraded is they've got a new lock on their locking mechanism between the two parts of the splitboard. So beforehand you would pop this thing open, but while you were walking with it, it would rattle around and it would move. Now they've added this little locking mechanism here so that it can't unhinge midway down the ride, it can't come apart. It now locks into place, keeping it nice and sturdy and together. Not that it wouldn't stay together anyway. You're going to have your bindings on here, which is going to keep it together, but it just sort of keeps it looking tidy and keeps it from clacking around or making too much noise or getting caught up on debris or trees or whatever else you might encounter while you're out there. The other cool thing that they've added to the solution this season is that 3D beveling in the shovel of the board. They call it their 3D spoon tech. And basically that 3D bevel helps the board initiate a turn really easily, and it also helps the board mitigate vibration when it's traveling through powder. So it kind of works like a boat hull, very easy to steer, very easy to keep it planing out of the snow, and then also absorbs that abrupt vibration of the waves, or in this case, the powder. Other cool little nuances is that they've added in a little bit more of a reinforced metal edge here in the nose. And what that's designed to do is just give the board better durability in the case that you do ram it into something on accident. If you hit a tree or a rock, it's a little bit less likely that the edge will peel out. So definitely an awesome durability factor there, both for when you're riding and for when it's in ski mode. And the other awesome thing about this board is it's super versatile. So if you're that person who's like, man, you know, I don't know if I have the money to buy both a snowboard and a split board, if you buy this split board, it still works really well in resort too. You can still take this pretty much everywhere on the hill. It's still going to perform well as a normal snowboard as well. And because of those integration technologies, both in the clamps and in that Traction Tech 3.0 that runs down the middle, you get that really good snowboard integrated feel. It feels like a solid when you ride it. I think that's like the most surprising thing about these boards is when you actually do get them on the snow, they perform really well as just a normal snowboard. And then you have all of that added luxury of putting it into split and climbing up the mountain with it. Great for touring, but also a very versatile board if you're looking for a board that's just regular resort capable. You know, if you just want a board that you can ride around all mountain. There's days where here in Whistler, you're tired, you don't have the gusto to go climb a mountain, maybe you just want to ride the chairlift, you could still rip this board on a daily basis. It still feels like a solid board. So I'm pretty stoked on that. The art on this guy is designed by Havoc Hendricks. Pretty cool artist, definitely known for his nature-inspired artwork. Does a lot of like mountainscapes. But yeah, really cool artist to check out. Go check out his website, guys. You'll see he does all kinds of cool paintings that are sort of in this style. I really think it's a nice style. I think it's a really clean looking, crisp, down-to-earth, traditional to snowboarding kind of graphic. So pretty stoked on it. Havoc Hendricks, go check him out. So yeah guys, that is the Jones Solution Split, newly redesigned for 2021. I think it's an awesome, beautiful board, extremely versatile, and a really good option if you're looking for a split board for around the Whistler area. You know, not only is this thing going to perform really well in resort when you're just cruising around on a groomer, but you can also take it for a wicked day of, you know, touring in the backcountry or even heliboarding. Very versatile. You can do a little bit of everything with this board. It's going to hit all of those free ride all mountain categories, and you can still ride it switch, which is good too. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you like this snowboard, you can check it out in the link in the description. If you want to pick it up, it definitely helps me out to click on the links, and I'm going to try to provide both Canadian and American links below so that you have an option whichever country that you're in. All right, that's everything on this episode of the Andreas Schubert Snowboard channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. What else to say? I'll see you in the next video. We got more videos coming down the pipeline too, so stay tuned and keep watching the skies. Stay tuned, tune in, check out the channel, make sure that you watch it. Check out Chris's channel too, that's a good channel to watch. Why wouldn't you watch that? Chris, my buddy, he's also filming stuff here in the store. And come on down to Comore Sports on Main Street, Whistler, here in Whistler, BC, where the snowboards are hot and the employees are even hotter, because we got snowboards and other things too, like boots and outerwear, goggles, gloves, helmets, locks, wax, backpacks, socks. What else do you need? Scrapers. We got tune kits. We got all the. We got some. If you want some stickers, I got some stickers behind the cash. We typically give those away to kids, but you know, I'm a big kid. Who knows? What else? What else is going on here? Comore Sports. ComoreSports.com. Go check it out. It's a website. It's like this store here, but online, in the internet, on the internet, where you are, where you could be. Maybe you're here, but you're probably not here. You're probably on the internet. You might be watching it. The waves are coming down, they're transmitting, they're communicating with servers, and you too could go to ComoreSports.com, click that go to that site and it's like being here. It's kind of, you could shop for the things that you see here. They'll be on that website too. And then we also own Pacific Border. Pacific Border is a good website. They're a great store, great Canadian link. Like I said, gonna be trying to provide both American and Canadian links. So yeah, that covers sort of everybody, and then no one has to pay exorbitant shipping fees. Cool. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. We got lots more videos coming down the pipeline, talking about snowboards and boots and bindings and goggles and helmets and just snowboarding in general, all those snowboarding things. That's what we're up to here. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.